back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the $300 minimum 44 variant here on January 4th. We're hopping in toward our first semifinal of the night between ExoMoon Gaming and EvilWithin. It's myself, Lando, here, joined by Jen, a.k.a. Lemon Kiwi. Jen, we're hopping in here toward Gibraltar for map number one that we're not really too used to seeing, especially when it comes down to the pro scene. A pretty heavily banned map when it comes down to higher level pros, but still, we're watching it here in this current tournament. And of course, like I said, we got ExoMoon versus EvilWithin. We just got to witness EvilWithin take down one of your favorite players, Dream Crazy, and the boys on No Name. However, though, got to watch them obviously play, played incredibly strong, and I imagine they're going to be using a lot of that momentum heading into this next series.
Yeah, not too hot of a start here for EvilWithin. If we do remember against No Name, they had their Hardpoint win 250 to 152, but they are starting this Gibraltar Hardpoint down 25 points. Pretty uncontested battle here for ExoMoon, and they're already here all over your kill feed. You see Cells with the double kill already, where Fort Courtyard will be loaded up here in 10 seconds, where it looks like the advantage for at least spawns is still here in favor of ExoMoon, but EvilWithin at least able to get the scrap time at the last second.
And also be keeping in mind this three-man rush between, it looks like Phantomz, Glory, and ProFeeZy. Phantomz, though, most importantly, this is the position that he wants to be in. Why? Because he's the main assault or rifle player, along with finding one. ProFeeZy finds the second, and they could have very well just flipped the spawns on this current hill. Phantomz, of course, slipping back toward the SMG, finds one, finds the second, along with the hill control, getting close to Streaks, however, drops into the comms building, but has Nihill waiting there from the side, however, does get picked off, and it looks like the overall push, the three-man flank coming in, does successfully work out here from the boys on EvilWithin.
Yeah, some nice stat lines on the side of EvilWithin, but
Beehzy.
ExoMoon trying to answer back. Beehzy with the double. It's a fight here for Courtyard, as current control will flip back in favor of EvilWithin, as they're trying to even up the stat line here after a pretty terrible, I guess, first hill, and even starting off with the bad spawns, are able to make up for the scrap time, but now having to travel all the way across the map to Castle Road, where currently the spawns are in favor of ExoMoon, where Streaks were being called in from ProFeeZy, able to get Cells off a rotation. Nonetheless, they're in a pretty comfortable control. We'll see how EvilWithin will be able to infiltrate this one.
And when we discuss Gibraltar, this can very well be considered the money hill for this particular map. If you have, you know, players set up in cave, players setting up through middle, and also watching through this kind of side road, it is almost a no man's land to try and make it through. But yet again, a player has snuck from behind. This time it's Nihill. Last time it was Phantomz. He finds two big kills. GorgoKnight trying to lock down some of that time and start of the Hardpoint. But here comes Phantomz to greet him. Finds the kill, but no, GorgoKnight is able to be there. It looks like Glory is there for the pickup. And it looks like yet again another rotation found from the guys on ExoMoon. But it's just a last-second flank, hill control, spawn control that ends up going the way of the guys on EvilWithin, kind of hanging and by a thread in this game, but off of clutch plays is the reason why they're only down by less than 20 seconds. Keeping in mind, rotation from Castle Road, now advancing toward turret. Phantomz, the main assault rifle player for this team on EvilWithin, drops inside a cave window, that one coming from Cells. And as time starts to go back and forth, it looks like it will be the guys on EvilWithin grabbing a few early seconds. Beehzy and Cells combining for two, despite ProFeeZy finding one inside of the Hardpoint. I think it's going to be fair to say Cells and Beehzy, based off of what we've been able to watch so far from this ExoMoon lineup in prior tournaments and the experience that I've got with casting over these guys, is a lot of people know of Beehzy, of course, with his runs on Most Wanted, Havoc, and of course, most notably Lethal Gaming back in the day. Very, very solid player, and a lot of times was the most dominant slayer on a team and really couldn't find guys alongside of him to kind of complement his overall gun skill. But I think him and Cells are definitely the more talented slayers on this lineup. Of course, you've got Envader and GorgoKnight. GorgoKnight most known for the objective, but if you're watching Cells, you're watching Beehzy, normally those are going to be the guys dropping the highest amount of kills, and generally those are going to be the guys who have to be consistent when it comes down to the slaying role. Obviously, currently playing pretty decent, and you know, obviously are currently down for the time. But if they can start to turn things up, maybe make the rotation successful and are able to watch their flanks, we could easily see the guys on ExoMoon in a prime lead.
Yeah, and EvilWithin started down 50 points after losing pretty much full control of the first hill. Now able to slowly crawl back into this one with a pretty nice hole onto Castle Road and trading back and forth onto the turret side. And is really ProFeeZy opening things up with not only his streaks, but the kills on the board. Now back into pit center. Nihill has been the main objective player here, at least not even the stat line, but he's the one that likes to sit in the hill and try and get the kills and feels comfortable in relying on his teammates to get the kills around him. And look at that. He's been uncontested here onto the hill. Nice high ground control from the side of EvilWithin. ExoMoon now have preferable spawns here for Fort Courtyard coming up in 25 seconds. I wonder if they're still going to fight here for the scrap time, as this could get out of hand if they do give up the last 20 seconds on pit center. But if they have a pretty solid hold on the Fort Courtyard, it should still be an even matchup.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're in ExoMoon's position, you've given away both this Hardpoint here coming up, and then also the third hill on Castle Road constantly, the last second set of rotations. And now being down, they have to almost have a solid hold just to make sure this game is close at this point. And Beehzy and Envader combining for 2 are going to make that task a little bit easier. Nihill still on the back end is trying to do some damage, does get dropped there from Envader. So with that being and currently in frame of mind, looks like those boys from ExoMoon should hop inside of the Hardpoint and should have at least some free seconds for the moment, as GorgoKnight finally not going to be in that Hardpoint, getting ready to go ahead and grab some seconds there for Cells. But regardless, doing a great job at making this rotation. Like I said, as long as they can kind of hold things down, make sure they're not getting caught up on the flank, which is exactly what we're seeing Nihill do and ProFeeZy as well in the situation. This has been the issue with them throughout this entire match, as it looks like they will take out Nihill and will have rotation now set up. That's been the problem for them throughout this entire match so far, Jin, is that they're doing a fantastic job at rotating. They're not having any issues with that whatsoever, but it's a matter of just not watching their flank and letting the kind of enemy get behind them and kind of, in some cases, take that spawn away from them.
Yeah, and less than 10 kills really separate EvilWithin and ExoMoon, so it's not even the kill feed that's really separating these teams. It's the rotations around Gibraltar, and the hills are so far apart from each other. And Castle Road is exactly where EvilWithin took such a large lead after losing a lot of time onto the first and second hill of the first rotation. Streaks coming in, and it's not really able to find any kills. But oh, huge bomb from Nihill, able to find 2, so complete team wipe. ExoMoon are down for the count, and now giving up so much time rotating all the way to Castle Road will be a tough task. So I wonder if they're just going to focus here on turret, if they're going to probably try and push one more time. But this is getting a quite difficult lead here for EvilWithin. Now 40 points and more, but that's Envader answering back for more streaks. They got 2 kills down. Phantomz with a double kill, able to even up those numbers. As Castle Road only 17 seconds left, and EvilWithin have had a perfect hold of Castle Road. Now heading into turret, you can see Cells and friends looking to just focus on that hill for now.
And this time it's EvilWithin who has complete control throughout the entire Hardpoint. They also did a fantastic job at locking down turret. We'll see how this rotation does go. Streaks are starting to become a factor. Glory finds one with a nade. The fighter pilot coming from the skies is trying to limit EvilWithin, trying to limit ExoMoon rather, as it seems that kills coming in from Cells. Drops 2. Envader inside of the hill, being that front SMG, trying to limit the players coming in from cave. Doing a solid job at it, as they're getting some free seconds right now, but coming from mid-cut. We'll see how these kills start to face off, as Glory able to drop 1, and GorgoKnight right around the corner has some teammates, but Beehzy finds 2 big kills, totally opening up that Hardpoint for GorgoKnight, making his job so much easier, which is exactly what he needs to do. Player comes in, GorgoKnight able to shut him down, as turret is starting to make this game a lot closer, one that normally is known as a contest fest. Granted, the last 10 seconds looked to go the way this time of EvilWithin, but a massive comeback there coming in from ExoMoon. Granted, they're still down by about 60 points, but they're still playing a lot better. And they also have rotation set up here for pit center. And honestly, when it comes into early control pit center, you can really kind of hold down certain positions on this hill to make things a lot more awkward for the opposition, as Envader is doing, kind of lingering in the back, kind of hiding behind enemy lines, as ProFeeZy ends up dropping. Does take out Beehzy in the situation, but regardless, we're seeing some nice comebacks being made from ExoMoon while they do sacrifice the last 12 seconds inside of that last hill in turret. It seems like it's a worthy exchange.
Yeah, only a 20-point game, and back onto turret. Like you said, Beehzy had a really nice triple kill, but then the flood from K from EvilWithin, able to win them that scrap time back onto pit center. 25 seconds remain, and this is now only less than a 10-point game. The comeback from Beehzy and friends now stacking 2 players onto the hill and sending players to try and get courtyard spawns is going to be extremely important to whoever is could be possibly winning this off of this next hill. Look at this setup here from EvilWithin. Phantomz and Glorios are ready for this push in the courtyard, and they want to hold it with everything they have because they could be winning off of this one. And if ExoMoon are able to kill EvilWithin off of this courtyard, they might also win off this one. So all the kills are going to matter into this one. He spawns so far away from courtyard, and look at your kill feed. It's all in favor here of EvilWithin, and this is pretty much a tie game back and forth. Can EvilWithin win off of this hill?
Definitely possible as they're trying to make the guys from ExoMoon spawn totally out. But GorgoKnight coming from the flank, doing some damage, takes out 2. However, Glory is still lingering inside of the hardpoint, having his teammates start to drop as Beehzy takes him down. And also potentially has a second one in his midst, but no, Nihill currently challenging for Fort Courtyard control. Who's going to have it? It looks like it will go the way of GorgoKnight, but only for the time as ProFeeZy finds 2, Cells there for the challenge, and it looks like the last 4 seconds, or excuse me, last 14 seconds rather, will go the way of ExoMoon. But keeping in mind that rotation is absolutely massive. It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if they even let the last player get outside of the hill just to try and challenge this. But here comes the push. It looks like it will be Cells leading the way for the moment for the guys on ExoMoon. He ends up dropping, and look at all 3 arrows that are currently up, trying to get toward that hard point. They are in no way there to try and trade. GorgoKnight needs to try to get up here with Envader because their lead is starting to diminish. Their game is starting to go away, and Nihill pulling out the streaks at the end, takes out 1. Glory finds the second, and only 5 more seconds needed for the guys on EvilWithin to close out this map. But here comes Beehzy from the flank. He takes out 1. The break could be coming forward. He needs to take out 1 more inside of the hard point, but it's not going to work. The rotation from EvilWithin will work out successful as they win map number 1 here, 250 to 234.
Oh, what a close stat line. I think that was a pretty major mistake from Cells to go into the Castle Road Hill in a 1 versus 4. He gets immediately killed. Easy pick off there. And now his team have to go into the next hill 3 versus 4. And it looked like it was going well. Beehzy came from behind, able to get an easy kill, but then they fell apart, and it was really a 2 versus 4 in that chance, and they were not able to step into the hill to contest a little bit more. And of course, it could have been ended there onto Courtyard, but then the back and forth forced that whoever rotated early for Castle was going to win that one. And of course, Cells then throwing himself in the 1v4, forcing his team to go into 3v4, kind of costed them any sort of chance of coming back into that one. But still, a very, very close stat line as we do head into London Docks Search and Destroy for this best of 3, where perhaps Glorious's team could be taking it all.
Definitely possible. I mean, that's definitely something to kind of keep in mind as now, like I said, the guys from EvilWithin are 1 map away from kind of solidifying themselves in the finals here. But I think one thing that we can kind of discuss throughout that entire Hardpoint gen to kind of break things down was that ExoMoon started off this game incredibly strong. Right? They held pit center. They were playing pretty well. They were rotating towards second hill. But it was on that second hill rotation where they were up. We ended up seeing a full 3-man rotation get made through the flank. And it was like a constant kind of issue for the guys on ExoMoon were letting the players from EvilWithin get on their flank, kind of let them kind of take the spawn control away from them because they were having no issue rotating for hills. They were having no problem kind of making that rotation, locking things down. But it was just certain players or certain moments where we would see even Nihill come on the flank and make some damage happen, take out 2 or 3 players. And once that happens, of course, taking out 2 players, he immediately flips the spawns. And now there's only 2 players inside of the hill with a pinch being made for the opposition. So it was just a matter of ExoMoon maybe just a call out here or there, maybe some missed timing that was made in at least 2 or 3 hills that we saw get broke from the flank. But it was a matter of course, this kind of comes down to the wire. Of course, is what, like a 16-point game that's decided. This, you know, based off the first 2 hills, if they hold things correctly, this should have been ExoMoon's game to lose. I mean, this was the match where, or the point where they were up in the series, or up in this match, excuse me, and it was the guys from EvilWithin who were kind of clutching up and making kind of last-second plays. But I do have to give massive credit for EvilWithin. They were kind of aware of the last-second rotation toward King's Road and whatnot. Kind of make that rotation. They obviously play it very, very well, realize it's the money hill for this map, and obviously hold out the money hill very successfully and do win this one in a very close fashion. But gentlemen, yes, the $300 minimum 4v4 variant here on January 4th. It's time for some London Docks Search and Destroy. I'm excited. We just got to witness EvilWithin take map number 1 on Gibraltar in a pretty close fashion, 250 to 234. Of course, myself, Lano, here, joined alongside by Jen, a.k.a. Lemon Kiwi. As Jen, we're hopping in, like I said, for some Search and Destroy on London Docks. As you find Cells and Beehzy from ExoMoon in a 2 versus 3 now, as Cells trying to even out the man count, doing pretty well. But the first kill from ExoMoon coming in, and we'll see how they try to weather the storm and try to progress to win this first offensive round.
Yeah, not a hot offensive round at all. Is already first and second blood in favor of EvilWithin, 3 versus 2, and you could see Cells and Beehzy playing extremely patient. Now hoping to get a pick, just 1 pick to even up the numbers. Now not even having the bomb in hand, it is also going to be a tricky task, and it's going to be over at the A site where Phantomz will be watching over as Beehzy tries to rotate all the way, or actually doesn't rotate, he just gets killed off a middle map, and Cells will now see if he can go after this bomb, and now in a tough task, 1 versus 3, where Phantomz will be spotted here over at window.
And Phantomz playing as bait. Have his teammate kind of pick up the kill there in the end. Kind of an assistance that he kind of grants there from ProFeeZy. But kind of at the beginning of this round, when we kind of talk about things, normally for the defensive team, when it comes down to 10, you're going to see kind of two PPSHs kind of meet each other, usually for that first blood, kind of a little bit of a battle. But it wasn't the case whatsoever. We actually see the main assault rifle player from EvilWithin and Phantomz make his kind of progression over toward the A side and ends up finding 2 early kills. One that's not a normal strategy, but definitely works out for them in the end, as regardless, the assault rifle player doing the SMG's work, as it looks like a full 4-man rush for the guys on EvilWithin as they group together and walk inside of the A bomb site. One player just toward the outside. Cells has a nice line sight. Nihill has no awareness whatsoever that he's hiding there and in such an odd corner and an odd placement to be at. I'm not expecting to try and challenge that one, but Beehzy finds one. It looks like on the outside, ProFeeZy doing some damage from the docks, as ProFeeZy and Glory have to try and defend their bomb site. We'll see how well they can try to progress this one, as GorgoKnight and Envader will be there for the pickups. And look at that, Envader firing some shots into the body. I don't want to say that's you know, bad juju or anything like that, but it's not the best of luck. I don't know. I'm
Bad
not sure.
juju. Well, it's a no-no, but yeah, nice 4-man rush, like you said, out of EvilWithin to get into the cabin side of the map, using smokes to sort of cut off the long-range AR plays, able to get in. But it was, of course, EvilWithin getting first and second blood, really cutting down the force of ExoMoon. And although they got the plant, I believe, they were not able to defend it with only 2 players remaining, and even lost the control of cabin, so not even able to prevent the defuse even in a 1v4. So things evened up 1 apiece, as ExoMoon will be back here onto the offense and bomb in hand of GorgoKnight, where it looks like they're trying to aim. They're kind of all over the place, actually. GorgoKnight currently in the middle of the map, where Cells will be checking out over at A site, and they're still deciding maybe if they want to cross over into A, but A is going to be pretty heavily defended, so they're trying to play for picks right now. Envader will be the closest one to an engagement, but no, he gets taken down. Cells now still with the, not the bomb, but he's trying to deal with GorgoKnight and see if they can get the objective down. 3 versus 3 numbers are now equalized. Well, Phantomz will be sitting here over at this window, and his power position and comfortable position for him, hopefully able to prevent an A site plant.
And having a really difficult time trying to take out Phantomz, as he's definitely been lingering here in past defensive rounds, as Beehzy finds the headshot onto Nihill, quickly getting back onto the objective as GorgoKnight. Up close, a personal fight, gets the headshot into Glory, and now, keeping in mind, GorgoKnight's current position, having to rely on his kind of side peek off the bomb ADS to try and pick off the final player, has the line sight, has his teammate support, as I believe, yes, it will be Beehzy who takes down the final 2. And nice little line set there onto that side docks as Phantomz does fall. But there was a moment in that round where I was thinking that ExoMoon really had lost it, and that was whenever Envader was sitting inside a fire. He was kind of sitting on in that position and had at least lines from the 3 players. I mean, he had a great position, and then he ends up kind of turning around using good trigger discipline, but ends up falling. I thought that's going to be the round for ExoMoon. They're going to lose it there, but they clutch up. They obviously move that bomb from GorgoKnight now there onto A. And it obviously works out successfully for them. But a lot of the last second rounds, big 1v1s going through as Envader dropping Glory for the first blood. Nihill there for the response, but GorgoKnight inside a closet is there to take down ProFeeZy and give the defensive team now the man advantage. But just as I say that, Phantomz continuing to do work, finds nearly the 3rd. Nihill's there for the trade, and now we find ourselves in a 1 versus 1. And I thought GorgoKnight was hot on the tracks of Nihill, used to how that bomb feels. But Nihill having to back up. We'll see how this 1v1 does progress. And who obviously can get the positioning advantage on the other.
Yeah, and that's GorgoKnight closing in from the middle map, and now Nihill is just going to be playing this time. He has 43 seconds, so much time to confuse GorgoKnight on what bomb he's going to be going to. Initially it was B, but look how patient even GorgoKnight is playing. He has not moved an inch either. Wow. So it's going to be, well, it looks like GorgoKnight is peeking. They have spotted each other trading shots. Now Nihill is going to be playing towards the B bomb site, where GorgoKnight has middle map control, so he's able to flip around to whichever bomb site he needs to, and just missing Nihill, who's going towards the B bomb site. Gorgo now checking back into the spawn, and now he has no idea where Nihill is. Wow. Is he getting the bomb down? Yes, he is. So this is going to give Nihill a huge advantage, and now putting the pressure all onto GorgoKnight, who now has the information. Now this is the action where it's going down, and no, GorgoKnight wins the final gunfight against Nihill in the long range battle. And a little bit of congratulating him on the successful gunfight, shaking hands, and a very polite high five before going for the defuse.
Thanks for the points there, Nihill. Thanks very much, pal. Like I said, GorgoKnight, and it was kind of an interesting round, right? Because in this situation, I really admire the kind of passiveness, the patience coming in from Nihill. Literally sitting in the backside of his spawn, kind of waiting for maybe GorgoKnight to make a kind of a error to kind of go on the flank, and that's where Nihill could have kind of picked him off. But you notice, it's just funny how both players kind of work, because as soon as they both start to kind of move a little bit, okay, around 35 seconds, let's go ahead and start to make a little bit of progression forward. That's when both of them peak, and if you're in GorgoKnight's position, you have no issue waiting at the time. While he does allow the plant from Nihill, was a little bit of a sketchy play. I was like, okay, how did GorgoKnight lose Nihill in the situation? He is there for the pickup, obviously spawns him inside a closet. But still, the man with the objective, doing the work and the kills as well. The stat sheet stuffer right now for Mr. GorgoKnight himself. Shout out to Small Soldiers. I actually watched it on Netflix the other day. I believe that's actually a reference to that movie. Not 100% sure. Maybe I'll tweet on Twitter after this game's over. But still, lead the way right now. His team's up 3-1 in the S&D. They're feeling pretty good. And we'll see if they can get this objective down on A shortly. But first man they're going to have to shut down is Nihill. Finds the headshot and through the wall. Envader trying to get the wall bang. Isn't able to find it. So after his teammate drops the bomb, is in a pretty awkward scenario. And up close and personal, Phantomz. Kind of surprised by this guy with doing these up close and personal fights. I mean, he's known as the main assault rifle player, but he's doing work up close with that machine pistol and the FG as well. Coming on the flank is one from ExoMoon, but they get picked off, and just like that, a solid response coming in from the guys on EvilWithin.
Yeah, after 3 consecutive rounds that EXO got, EvilWithin were finally able to answer back, and this was an extremely weird offense for ExoMoon anyway. They only sent 2 towards the water side, and they sent 2 to the complete top of the map, so I'm not sure if it was a miscoordination of what bomb site they really wanted to go to, or if they trying to work for top and then rotate to middle control. It was just very weird, because then the bomb planter and the defender went down onto water side, which kind of caused the snowball to come through after that. So you really want to focus on having a 4 or at least 3-man push towards A if you want to go for that bomb. Nonetheless, we are into the 6th round. Only 1 round separates these 2 teams, where ProFeeZy will have the bomb in hand, and this is more of a coordinated offense, all heading towards the B bomb site. They don't have any middle map control, however, so they'll have to be wary on Glorious being able to get the shots on the player if somebody comes through there. But now they just have to wait for GorgoKnight and challenge him on the other side of this crate and hopefully win that battle. And that's ProFeeZy, seeing if he can get some shots on him.
And looks like Cells is able to join the fight, takes out Nihill, and for the first, 30, 45 seconds of this round, GorgoKnight literally held B by himself. And that's kind of a testament to go to show that maybe EvilWithin in the situation was playing a little bit too slow. They try to gain some advantages, and maybe they were thinking that things are a little bit too quiet. They're probably hiding behind corners and whatnot, but that was not the case whatsoever. So GorgoKnight holds the site successfully, gets granted with some teammate support from Cells. Envader, who was hiding around that corner inside of 10, does get taken down, and Glory, making his way through fire, could definitely play spoils. Is able to spot out Beehzy, also takes out GorgoKnight. Give me 1, give me 2, and now Cells, last alive, will take out Glory in the situation, but no!
Oh my God.
Glory's off the ladder. Will find 3. That's your version of a ladder stall in competitive play. And so hop onto this one and takes out Cells. Beautiful hat trick in this round there from this man. And still give EvilWithin a big advantage when it comes down to the momentum of this game. There's another scoreline, of course, will read 3-3. And big momentum, like I said, from the guys on EvilWithin.
Yeah, it's 2 consecutive rounds there for EvilWithin. And really, you got to be, if you're on Cells' team, you might be a little bit mad, because that was kind of his job to make sure Glorious was not going to come from behind. And that was a really easy double kill. And Cells should have gotten the trade in that sense, make it a little bit possible. But the turn and burn, a little embarrassing. Triple kill for Glorious, looking good. It's already 1st and 2nd blood in favor here of ExoMoon. Let's go on board with GorgoKnight. He's looking to plant the objective over at the B bomb site, where nobody here to contest. They're fully pushed through and in control of B. They just have to be wary of Nihill over at the middle map, but Gorgo's still able to get the bomb down.
It is 4 versus 2. Should be there around. ExoMoon definitely needing a response after losing the last 2. Nihill coming from mid-map, and this is big for streaks if GorgoKnight can try and stay alive. Of course, keeping streaks in mind. Phantomz, you know, obviously off of those was, I think, at 180 score total, but ends up falling. And all 4 players from ExoMoon will stay alive in that situation. They take out the beginning 2, find themselves in a 4 versus 2. Get the bomb down, and GorgoKnight, I believe, finishing off with one on Nihill and this one on Phantomz. I'm curious to see what he is at as far as score total is considered, because that could be a little bit nervy if you are the guys on EvilWithin, realizing that, hey, GorgoKnight very close to some streaks after doing some damage. As if we can go on board with GorgoKnight really quick just to see how close he is toward those. It looks like, okay, not as close as I thought. Thought he was maybe more about 200 points off, but still a little bit of ways away. But now focusing in EvilWithin on the offense. as they're looking to try to get their way inside of this A bomb site. And based off players' positioning, you can definitely tell that they're not fully aware that this plant is going down, but once the indicator goes through, this is when the push will happen. But Cell's continuing to linger toward that outside dock area, as he could definitely do some damage onto ProFeeZy, but ProFeeZy spots him through the bottom line site. And now is going to play passively. The great trigger discipline. Can he find the kill? Yes, but he quickly gets taken down after that. GorgoKnight is still alive. Is he on streaks is the question. We'll find that out in the next round, but Nihill takes him out. Envader in his line sight. Give me that one too. Beehzy, last up, 1 versus 2. Will we see a 4-4 total, or can Beehzy find Phantomz? Is the thing coming around the corner, tries to spot the dead body out, but it's not going to be there, as back and forth we go. After 8 rounds of play, we're level at 4. And just overall smart play coming in from EvilWithin, as yet again, it's almost like from either team, EvilWithin has been the group who's been, for the most part, preferring this A bomb site, which is, of course, the kind of lesser known of the two. London Docks, you can really play either bomb site, but A is definitely kind of the non-preferred of the two. But for the guys on ExoMoon, they've been kind of working toward B for the most part, and it's been working out successful for both of these teams. It just goes to show when it comes into London Docks, both sites can lead you to successful rounds.
Yeah, and I mean, they pushed 4 towards A and able to get the bomb play in the 4 versus 4, and I mean, the defense not even setting somebody up at window to prevent it from happening made it a pretty easy round win there for, I believe it was EvilWithin back on the offense, but they're on the defense now, but it is ExoMoon starting off with the first and second blood there. Cells finishing off Nihill, as you're going to see GorgoKnight looking to set his sights on planning over at the A site, and they're not going to have anybody contesting except Glorios coming at the very back. He's looking for the long-range sights, but not able to contest. The bomb plane going down, so number advantage and now objective advantage. Glorios is the last one in a 1 versus 4. Gets nice shots there onto GorgoKnight, but this is going to be a tough task for them as 4 rounds to 4. We're getting into that round 11 direction, it looks like.
It's definitely possible as ExoMoon grabs their 5th. And of course, keeping in mind, this is the best of 3 series, of course, in our current semifinal matchup. And it was the guys on EvilWithin who took map 1 on Gibraltar. So with ExoMoon maybe needing 1 more round, they could advance that next map on the Arn 4 CTF. And maybe some bad blood between Beehzy and his former teammates. Of course, it was Beehzy instead of Phantomz kind of filled in for that group. They were known under Hype Unit, I believe, after Dallas, or at Dallas, excuse me, left after a top 64 finish, add Phantomz to this team. So maybe it's Phantomz who's trying to prove himself on this group. He definitely has done so in a lot of these tournaments. As 1 more bullet needed, takes out GorgoKnight. And now we find ourselves in a 3 versus 2, round 11 potential. Offensive team is EvilWithin. They're getting the objective down. ProFeeZy with the plant. And Cells gets the indicator, only gets shots tagged in the back. Needs Beehzy to go big, coming from cut, but it's Glory to take him down. Cells 1 versus 3 for the map. Can he find it? Takes out one of the ProFeeZy. Glory on that bomb site, and Cells playing trigger discipline well. Coming around the corner, can he take him out? But no, Glory is there to finish off the final 2. And with that, we'll force the round 11. ExoMoon, if they win this one, we're seeing map 3. But if EvilWithin can close out this last round, they will move on with another 2-0 sweep and are guaranteed top 2 in tonight's tournament. A lot on the line here, Jen.
A lot on the line, and that was unfortunate for Cells and Beehzy in that 2 versus 3. They had really good positioning. 1 towards middle map, I believe, was Beehzy, and Cells towards the back crate. They had the best positionings to probably win the 2 versus 3, but Beehzy losing that pretty much 3v1. Everybody was behind the truck waiting for him. Nonetheless, very interesting strategy. You got smokes over on water, smokes in the middle map. GorgoKnight with the bomb in hand, heading towards B site, but they haven't pushed through crates yet, so he has to be wary of ProFeeZy doing backflips here at the back. But nonetheless, first blood here for ExoMoon. This is round 11. They got the bomb down, and now the number advantage. So they have to push ProFeeZy, who gets the win onto Envader, but still the number advantage in favor of the offensive team. And they have middle map control. This is looking good for ExoMoon.
Definitely is. 28 seconds left, and you see ProFeeZy desperately trying to find some kills. Takes out 2 in quick succession. Now it's a 1 versus 1. Beehzy versus ProFeeZy. And we'll see. As ProFeeZy's going for the sneak defuse, is Beehzy going to realize this one's here? Can ProFeeZy get it? Can he close this one out? Beehzy trying to come around the corner just in the nick of time. The sneak defuse from ProFeeZy will give EvilWithin the victory, as that is just heart-wrenching if you are ExoMoon in that situation. Literally a 1 versus 1, probably the fastest player in this entire game, being ProFeeZy, is the man who goes for the sneak defuse quite literally.
That's just
A bait.
unfortunate positioning.
Oh
That
my
is
gosh.
and I know it's like the textbook thing of not to do is not to watch over your bomb when it's planted. But it was planted on the other side, but then for some reason he was in middle map, rotated towards middle map to go against this 1v1, but you won't be able to spot the diffuser as quick as you think when it's on the other side, when the bomb is planted on the other side. So yeah, that's some yikes round 11 thing. Your worst nightmare as a tournament goer, as EvilWithin will take the 2-0, and I mean really really close, right? 250 to 234 onto the Hardpoint round 11 win on the Search and Destroy. They will be moving on to our grand finals, where I'm not even sure if it's loaded up.
I believe it's Zodiac who actually won.
Oh, Zodiac made it to the finals, which I think some of the chat were thinking they were going to make it all the way. So it's going to be quite a great matchup here for finals.
For sure, and of course we got to be keeping in mind the momentum that EvilWithin most likely is possessing right now after winning an insane round 11 like that. But generally, I mean, I think that was maybe it was either a 2 versus 4 or a really quick like 2v3 turnaround that we ended up seeing coming in from the EvilWithin guys, because I was thinking kind of coming into that round, I think you even said it, Jen, kind of toward like the last 30 seconds of that bomb being planted and having, of course, before it ticks down, was that it was a smart play coming in from the guys on ExoMoon, because they smoke actually through mid-map. They take down the line sight, I believe, on Phantomz. So generally, what they do is they toss that smoke to kind of limit the, what would be a head glitch coming in from, normally I guess you could say it would be Phantomz who's sitting in fire. His vision's blind. By that point, I believe Nihill's sitting on side of A site, so potentially it's a 2 versus 4. And that's what we kind of see the round kind of progress as ProFeeZy finds a huge kill. I want to say it was on to Envader to kind of keep things up, so it was, I think, a 2 versus 3. So, like I said, you have Nihill, who's nowhere to be found. Phantomz, who's currently blind. ProFeeZy wins a huge 1 versus 1 where he doesn't even know the bomb's down yet. Or at least maybe he can't really process that in his mind, because I don't think the bomb had either gone down or it was really close to just being planted. So just major props to ProFeeZy and Glory for kind of playing that one out. I think Glory had some really big moments for the latter parts of this round, as I believe it was a pretty consistent game from everyone. Glory finishes off 8-7, Nihill 8-9, Phantomz 7-7, and ProFeeZy 7-8. But along with that, ProFeeZy finishes off with 4 plants, 1 defuse, 1490 score in total, but GorgoKnight was the man who really led the way despite the L, finishes off 9-8, 4 plants and 2 defuses. GorgoKnight was definitely kind of leading the way when it came down to most things, as definitely kind of the stat sheet stuffer when it came down to S&D despite the loss. But of course, he's known for this particular game mode. He is the objective guy for this team, and obviously they have a pretty big a lot of weight on his shoulders, and he definitely kind of performed despite losing in that final round. But like, what a round that was, to say the least, Jen. As you got to imagine, like I said, EvilWithin, they've got momentum. ProFeeZy's feeling pretty good.